Did you know that actually introducing pumping so early is a very common mistake that most mothers do while combining breastfeeding and pumping? Yes, you're going to know more in this video because today I'm sharing with you the 5 common mistakes that most mothers make or do while combining breastfeeding and pumping. So welcome to my channel. My name is Bridget and welcome to this spot where we talk everything motherhood, ministry and all around lifestyle. So let us dive in. Number 1 common mistake, not establishing a very good breastfeeding routine at first. Most mothers are on a rush to introduce pumping after delivery. Okay, it's understandable for the cases of mothers who intend to pump exclusively and those who have had preterm babies and they need to introduce breast milk early enough. But if everything is okay with you, you shouldn't be on a rush to introduce pumping. At least wait 3 or 4 weeks to 6 weeks postpartum and then introduce pumping, rather than being on a rush to pump and then before the baby gets the perfect latch, before you are also aware of how much your body can produce, how much breast milk your body can produce. First, understand all these things, then introduce pumping. Second common mistake while combining breastfeeding and pumping, starting to pump before the baby is done feeding. For example, when you are done feeding like one breast and then you already want to pump the other, no, that is a mistake. No one or no machine can empty the breast than your baby. So ensure your baby, feeds perfectly, gets every nutrient, feeds on both breasts, and then later you could start pumping. Common mistake number 3, over pumping to have a huge stash early. Well, I understand that most mothers, especially those who are going back to work, could be on a rush or intention to have a huge stash before they resume with work. And even those that maybe are pumping exclusively, you want to have a huge stash so that the baby has a lot to drink. Whereas that is a good idea, but don't be on a rush for this. You get, because this could cause you an oversupply, it could cause you engorgement, it could cause you all these other things, when you overpump. So just take each day at a time, relax. Actually, overpumping can also cause you extra stress, which is not what you need because you already have a baby. I'm not saying the baby is stressed, but you already have a lot to deal with. But then you're also putting yourself on a pumping schedule, but you're overly doing it. So just, do minimal times, have a good pumping schedule. Don't overly pump, and also just know that even a small stash for emergencies and for occasional bottle feeds for the baby, even when you're going back to work, if you have already at least a stash of breast milk, you have where to start from. So don't be on a rush. You will have what you want, but take or live each day at a time, because when you have stress, it could also affect the production of your milk. Point number 4 is using the wrong pumping equipment or technique. This entails the kind of pump you're using, the kind of technique you're using, whether you opt for a manual breast pump or an electric breast pump. Whatever pump you go for, ensure that what you're using is suitable for your body and for your comfort, because if you're doing it all wrong, if you're doing that mistake, it could cause you discomfort, it could even cause you bruises, it could cause you pain, and then you find at the end of the day you're no longer interested in pumping breast milk. So what is the solution? The solution is get the right flange that fits you perfectly. I would also advise you to get a double or dual breast pump such that you do both breasts at once. You understand? So that you don't do one. Okay, I know most people go for manual breast pumps, but it is still okay if you can get 2. You do it at once. I have shared a video which I'm going to link on the kind of electric breast pump I use, and other tips concerning pumping. I have also shared effective tips about pumping in another video. I will link it at the end of this video, so I hope you stay to watch everything. Then lastly, common mistake number 5 while combining breastfeeding and pumping is not storing milk properly. By this I mean you allow it to get spoiled or contaminated. Sometimes it's not really intentional, but if you do not know how to store milk very well, it could easily get spoiled or contaminated, and then that can't be fed to the baby. But then we know that breast milk is very important. We need to treat it well. We need to treat breast milk well. So I've also shared a video on how to store breast milk. You'll find it out, and also how to thaw frozen breast milk and several other videos. So, but this particular mistake, the solution to it is store it properly. Ensure that you have very clean bottles, all things you use, wash them well, sterilize them well, and then when it comes to storing, know that at least you could store breast milk at room temperature for hours, and then in the fridge, maybe the fridge door or in the fridge at least 4 to 6 days, and then in the freezer, that is if your power is consistent, you don't have, uh, a power breakdown or something, you ensure that your power is, always there. So for 6 months, others go to a year with breast milk in the freezer. So those are some of the tips. You could find out the details in that video to know more about how to store breast milk. Please and please don't avoid this mistake. Very many people are doing this mistake. You just find that maybe you've kept it there and the baby is done feeding, and then you're just discarding it. Now at least let it stay for at least 2 hours after they are done breastfeeding. Then if they're not interested, or if they don't take it, then you can discard it. But it's not that when they have left some milk unconsumed that you immediately have to discard it. That is what I thought at first, but it is not so. So at least you can leave it for 2 hours after they're done. Then if they don't take it, then there it's not good milk. Otherwise, thank you for coming this far with me. I hope you have understood these common mistakes most people make when combining breastfeeding and pumping, and you have seen the solutions. So I didn't just share with you mistakes, but I've also given solutions. You understand? So I hope this video is helpful. If you also know other mistakes that I've not mentioned, kindly comment below and tell us which mistakes and how to overcome. This is a family. And also, thank you. If you are new here, please subscribe to my channel. Let us grow this family. Let us learn from each other. Let us keep improving every other day and enjoy motherhood. Anyways, thank you so much for loving me and for being here. The Lord bless you and have a good time. Ciao.